This is Anarchast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. I have a returning guest, Elissa Hawke, who was on about a year ago when she was in, I think what she called it, I forget what you called it, something really derogatory about Australia. Oh, Satanic Canberra, that's right. And she was pretty depressed living there, and she's since just decided to pick up and move to Puerto Escondido, which is just a few hundred miles south of here in Acapulco. And she's an entrepreneur, she's a comedian, she's also teaches yoga, she does massage, she's going to be in Acapulco, she'll be doing astral yoga meditation or something, I don't even know what it is, on Saturday and Sunday morning.
You better be there, Jeff, yeah. You
And
told
she'll
me, I read you were into yoga now. I read somewhere you're loving your yoga, so I expect you there 8:30 both Saturday and Sunday morning with me.
I'm going to try for sure. I definitely going to try. It's going to be a lot of be up late and working a lot that whole week, but I'm definitely going to try.
Everyone's going to want a piece of you.
Yeah, and so she's also going to be headlining the Saturday evening event. She'll be doing a half hour. She's be doing a bit of comedy and a talk on Saturday evening before we have on people like Rob Hustle with This Is What Happens When You Call the Cops, and Tatiana Moroz and many other artists. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great time. And so one of the reasons I want to have you on one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is to hear about how things have been going for you in Mexico and what you've been up to.
Oh, I love Mexico, Jeff. Whenever I live here, things just happen for me and to me. Not all of them good, but most of them enable me to continue being an anarchist without any difficulty, you know? Like, I don't have to pay tax, I just say, okay, when anybody asks me anything. I never really even deal with the police ever, apart from when I travel across borders or whatever. If I see the police in the street, I don't look at them. They're like German shepherds. I don't look them in the eyes. And 3 times in Mexico I've been troubled by people, and it was the police every time. And they asked me for bribes, and I said, no, I don't do that, you know. So, and they always walk away. They always walk away because I'm like a cranky housewife from hell, and they're just like, okay, that one's not, we're not fishing here in this fishing hole.
Yeah, that's actually the way to deal with the police in Mexico, is to be quite angry with them for even bothering you. The ones that they really pick on, and it's not like it happens a lot. I very rarely do I hear about people get hassled by cops in Acapulco. I rarely ever get hassled. But if I have seen a few people get pulled over, for example, in a rental car, and you can see they're this sort of older American couple, and they're bowing down and smiling and being all nice, and the cops right then, they know they have them, and then they'll try to get some money off them for something. But if you sort of treat them like, get out of here, what are you doing, you criminal? They usually will just walk away. I've seen that happen many times. But my wife actually we were in Cabo San Lucas once, and a cop pulled us over for something, and she started yelling at him like I've never seen her yell at many people before, and the cop almost started crying and then left. So that's how you kind of deal with the cops down here. It's a lot better than the U.S., where obviously if you start yelling at the cops, it's not going to turn out well in the U.S.
No, and I don't want to yell at cops either anymore or ever. You know, I don't think yelling at anyone is good. If you can avoid it, don't yell at people. But yeah, it's funny, if someone makes you mad, you just got to get mad. So, but truthfully, Mexico's wonderful. I never ever have dealt with the cops this time. I've been here now since August last year, and I'm having a beautiful time. I'm living in a really nice fishing town, Puerto Escondido, which is sort of becoming a city now. Well, you know, there's 2 nightclubs, and I'm doing a lot of massage and yoga, and I've just started this juice retreat business in a really beautiful, one of the most beautiful houses I think in the town. And yeah, I'm trying to do an anarchist retreat after Acapulco for anyone who sort of wants to keep talking but like maybe chill out a bit on the food and alcohol and just get into some juices, coconuts, do some yoga, have some meditation, and basically just sleep, nap, you know, have a really relaxing time. That's kind of what we do here. We slow people down. If people are sick, it's good for you here. And if you're well, it's really good for you here as well.
Yeah, I like Puerto Escondido quite a bit. It's a very unique town. For people who don't know it, it's sort of a surf town as well. A lot of people from around the world go there. It's very international sort of culture.
It's a sexy place at times. It really is. And that, at the same time, it's really... it's small and slow, and there's a really nice fruit and vegetable market, and you can get everything natural here. We've got a big pile of coconuts over there. Life is just beautiful, and I don't know, I think Mexico has this, they welcome everyone, everybody's like friendly to you. It's been really easy for me since I came to this town.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take you up on your offer of your juice retreat after Acapulco if I survive it. I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm going to be just so busy that entire week, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of drinks and lots of parties. And so after that, I think I'll be one of your first guests coming down there. And for people who don't know, I think it's about 5-6 hour drive, maybe 7 hours from Acapulco. Is that right?
It's like a day on the bus, I think. You know, it's about $40, between 6 and 10 hours, depending on how much luck you get on the bus, I think.
Yeah, I drove there once. I spent New Year's there a few years ago and ruined it again for my wife because I hate New Year's.
I hate New Year's too. Maybe one day we'll be in the same place and we can commiserate together. I hate even my birthday. I just hate days where you have to be happy because I always rebel, and I'm just like, I just look at life through the saddest lens on those days, like New Year's Day, and I'm like, yeah, but let's really think about what 2014 held, man.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. So I went there with my wife. And for people, if you're going to drive to Puerto Escondido, one thing I should warn you about is they don't really have speed limits, but what they do have is tons of speed bumps around certain towns. And they put these speed bumps up, and they don't color them or paint them a different color than the road. And some of them are like at least 8 inches high and sort of square shaped. So I launched my car numerous times, once at least 30 feet.
Oh man, yeah. I catch the colectivos everywhere, which is like, it's basically like a horse truck, but it's like a taxi for 5 pesos. When I go to my yoga classes and stuff, basically because I'm a Sagittarian and I feel like a horse and I love being carried along in the back of a truck. But one day a guy went over a speed hump really hard and I nearly smashed, I didn't know I had bum bones, but I nearly smashed my, yeah, it was bad. But yeah, the speed humps, but that's why everyone drives really slow after a few days having a car in this town. You can't speed up.
The speed bumps are quite wild.
Yeah, you can't go more than 200 meters. It's a good way to keep everyone from not being a bogan, you know, or I don't know what you Canadians call that.
An asshole or something? I don't know.
Yeah. It's a good way to get people to sort of chill out, is just make it physically impossible for the car to keep going fast. Because it makes so much sense, but then the state doesn't get any revenue, Jeff. So you really got to think about, they're not going to last long term. We need something in there like a long stretch of flat, perfect road that everyone's going to get an urge to speed on. And then we need a little curve where we can hide our speed camera in the bottom corner. And then we can make money all day.
They don't have that yet here in Mexico. I've never seen anything like that.
No, me neither. I can't believe they don't, but I guess it's like everyone here would be like, well, what do you want me to pay you in mangoes? I make mango juice all day. Someone else would be like, I can give you a big bag of bananas. That's been my business for 3 generations. What we do is we get pineapples and we carve them and we make these beautiful flowers out of them, and then we walk around with a cart all day and we sell pineapples. I love it, man. How's the government get a cut of that? They don't. So they let a lot of people go.
Yeah, that's one of the things. It's one of the things I like about Mexico. It is quite anarchist in that way. So those speed bumps are usually, I think the people who put them up are just people in the surrounding towns because they don't want people to be flying through their town too fast. So it's sort of like an anarchist solution to people speeding with no extortion involved. I think it's much preferable than in the U.S. with what you just described.
Oh, in Australia there are speed cameras every kilometre. You know, it's like it's just accepted now, and it's weird when I go back there because every single person just drives along like a Lego man, like, and everyone almost, I mean, a lot of people, they actually have their cruise control set on 60 kilometers an hour, and it's just so weird because everyone's moving together at the same rate because of the cameras, you know. It's fucked up. I don't know. I don't
It's
like
actually
it.
very unsafe.
I think it's
find
weird
that
myself. Yeah, I think it's weird. Anyway, like this is, you know, we've said this before. Mexico, you know, you get 10 people on a motorbike, whatever. I don't know. I think God kills less people in car accidents in countries where the people have more faith or something. That's such a ridiculous statement. People are just gonna hassle me for 5 angles for saying that. But sometimes I feel like
I totally agree with you.
yeah, in Mexico you don't need seatbelts because everything is, you're in God's hands a bit more. Whereas in Australia it's like if you don't put your seatbelt on.
Oh yeah. I go up to the U.S. or Australia or anywhere, and you can just see everyone's tense and watching and looking out for cops and watching their speedometer, and then or they get just so bored because they're just going this like exact same speed all the time that they fall asleep and then they crash. And
Actually, that's
I think there's way more accidents in places like that.
that's something that we used to say, like it does cause more accidents, all this weird starting and stopping for traffic lights, and there's only 2 traffic lights in this town, and thank God there are, because that's where the artists do their fire juggling and whatever else, and if they didn't, the cars wouldn't ever stop. Like, I'm complaining today because it's 3 days of Valentine's Day partying, and there's been a guy on the beach with a microphone sounding like he's calling a greyhound race. And it's been like, and I'm sort of like, just chill out, Elissa. If you're in Australia, what would it be? And I'm like, it would be the Summer Nats Car Festival with chicks like hanging off the back of cars doing their tits. So Mexico is really tame compared to that.
Yeah, I was talking about Valentine's Day just the other day because people were. First of all, I was saying how I don't like those days, and actually how my wife doesn't ever want to spend those days with me because I always ruin it. And I ruined it in Puerto Escondido for that exact same reason. I got mad because it's like we showed up at first of all, it took us longer to get there than we thought. We showed up at 11 o'clock. All the restaurants were full. All the bars were full. We couldn't get in anywhere. We had to actually go eat at some really crappy taco place. And then I just started getting mad. I'm like, why do we have to force ourselves to do this stuff? And she got mad at me. She's like, it's New Year's, we have to. And I'm like, so we don't spend any time. And so for Valentine's Day, she went to Mexico City yesterday to a bachata concert or something, because she didn't want to spend it with me. And yeah, the neighbors, all these parties everywhere. And it was all day yesterday, today as well, parties everywhere for Valentine's Day. They always celebrate even a 1-day holiday here for at least a few days. And like Easter's 2 weeks, Christmas is a month.
They know how to party, man. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're thinking, the party's wrapping up. The music's getting really romantic. There's only 4 couples left on the beach dancing. And then at 6 a.m. the music's still going, and then like at midday you realize the music is still going, like the party, and then you realize it's Sunday and this is the 3rd day, and that there's been a non-stop party for like 52 hours, and I don't know.
Yeah, I used to have some parties at my house for birthdays or whatever, and it's sort of funny, there's like 2 shifts, so I'd have all my friends over, all my gringo friends, and they'd come over usually quite early. Like my wife would be confused, like, why are they here at 8 o'clock? Like, it's like we haven't even had dinner yet, and they'll show up and they'll be all confused, like, oh, are we early? And it's like, well, no, it's fine, come on in. And so we have a party, and then around 2 in the morning, most of my friends start to shuffle off into the night, and then all my wife's friends show up around 2 o'clock, and that's when the party starts.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
6, 7, 8 in the morning.
Well, it's not cool enough until midnight to even think about putting shoes on. You know, you can't go out at like 10. It's still 28 degrees. You need to wait till that 1 a.m. breeze comes through, I find, and then you're like, actually, I feel like dancing. So yeah, we're not gonna sleep much at Acapulco, are we? I hope not.
I don't think so.
We'll sleep when we're dead, Jeff.
I don't know if I'll survive it, to tell you the truth. Like, I've been looking at the schedule, and I'm going to be at every single event. I'm going to be at the workshops, which is like all day.
I was looking through yesterday, and I'm like, I have to sit there and watch everyone. There is only going to be one stage, isn't there?
Yes.
Good. Well, that's good, because I want to watch almost everyone. Really is exciting to me in some way or another, or I want to check out a bit more about them, shall we say.
Yeah, it's going to be great, but it's going to be so exhausting. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with your retreat there, because I want to know, because I'll be coming down for sure if I survive in
Acapulco.
Acapulco.
You need to come down for a few days before an Acapulco and just get yourself rejuvenated and looking tip-top, your best for everyone. No, what we do here is we invite people, we do 3-day, 5-day or 7-day fasts. We can do 10 days, but mainly we do juice fasts. We also, you can come here and just enjoy the beautiful place. Well, I'll send you some footage of the place. And we can do any diet. We can get someone in to do traditional Oaxacan food, or you can have vegan, vegetarian, whatever. But our main thing is we like to do juice fasts, where you come in the afternoon, we sort of have a mild party in the pool, and then we go for dinner. And then the next day, for 3 or 5 days, or 7 if you're hardcore, what we do is we wake up at 6:30, we go for a walk and a swim in the sunrise, and then we have coconuts. We have 3 juices a day, 2 coconuts a day, then we have free fruit water and flower water all day. And basically we do an hour and a half yoga class when we get back from our swim and our breakfast juice. And a really nice astral travel meditation, and then you have free time pretty much all day, except every day we also give you an hour-long spa treatment, like a massage, body exfoliation, or facial, or body masks, or cleansers, things like that. All natural products that I've learnt and taught myself over the years working in the best spas around the world and in Australia. And it's a really beautiful relaxation time in a really stunning house. We have a jacuzzi on the cliff and a beautiful infinity pool, and we have like 2 outdoor kitchens. There's many seating areas where you just have this beautiful view over the bay. The Playa Manzanillo is the name of the bay where we are in Puerto Escondido, which is like the nicest snorkeling beach. And yeah, it's just, it's something I haven't been doing long here in this place, but I've sort of been doing the same stuff for a long time, over 25 years. So yeah, if you want to feel good, freshen up, feel fit, come and do our little, really not strenuous boot camp. The yoga is for beginners. It's rehabilitation yoga, so any state of health or ill health, we've got a program that you can start out with and slowly develop, and then we give you a video to take away with you so that you can do yoga in your own time. And it's comedy yoga for old people, because I don't like to work too hard, and it's so hot here, you don't want to push anything too much. So yes, if anyone wants to come for a retreat, it's around $250, a little bit under $250 a day to come and do a retreat here. You can look us up, Coca Loca Retreats. Jeff will put a link in the description underneath, because when I googled it yesterday, I still couldn't find it, so I'll send you a link. So thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me on, and thanks so much for inviting me to Acapulco. That's the highlight of the year already. It's going to be an amazing thing for Anarchists to have this festival together in Mexico, out of our comfort zones. All these different, interesting people together. Who knows what could happen, eh? You might get naked and have sex with police.
Yeah, anything's possible. That's for sure. I'm starting to get excited, and I'm also starting to get stressed. So maybe I should come down there before the conference. I'll see if I can. There's so much to do. I didn't realize how much work all this stuff is.
I bet you need to be hands on, down there. I bet everybody's plugging you for everything right now. But Jeff, don't worry, just enjoy, be, do, have. It's all going to fall into place. I know. God itself, the very thing that organizes every grain of sand into place is organizing this festival. So have faith, man. You're just the one who gets the credit. You followed the idea and you made it happen, man. Good for you.
Hey, before I let you go, I want to ask you, because I'm sure a lot of people are curious about starting up a business here in Mexico. Of course, by the sounds of it, you got quite the amazing setup there. And I know if doing something like that in Australia would cost tons of money. There'd be permits you'd have to go through.
My friend just said to me the other day, to do that in Australia would cost millions of dollars. And it really would. And you'd need so much paperwork. But at the same time, Jeff, I want to say something else, which is going to sound trippy and everyone's going to go, oh, stupid hippie. But this is important to me to get a record of for myself, and that is that, like a year ago I made a video where I'm crying in a van because it's so difficult life when you do step away from the system and reliable jobs and a salary and a comfortable, everything guaranteed and the government protection and all that shit. It is a little hard and difficult for anyone, and I've been doing it for 6 years, and I need to do it for longer because I still don't feel totally confident that I can, and I'm still scared and all of that. But you just take it day by day. You've just got to get off your ass and leave, and then when you get to the place you like, you've just got to somehow find a way to stay. And you beg, borrow, and steal, and I didn't start out with this business. This came after 6 months of going around to buying a massage table, going around to people massaging, going around to places, doing yoga classes for $8, being happy, turning up, smiling, because that's who I am and that's what I do. But I have to sort of push my way into places as well. And I don't know, life, I feel like I was saying to my friend the other day, we're living in this beautiful place. And I didn't go to law school, I didn't get that degree, I didn't take that job so that I have that comfortable salary. And sometimes I do regret that I have such a unguaranteeable or an unsure future, but that's not the fault of me not staying with the government, because I could be in private business and I could be rich, The problem is, for me, I've just never really been interested in money enough to collect any, so most of the time I'm fine, but when I fall down, I'm like, oh, I've got no money. But what I feel is that the universe has given me a few breaks lately. We got this house really easily. The woman who rents it just gave it to us because she liked our energy. And it's just that I feel that I'm living in this beautiful way right now, and I don't even have to have the job to buy the $3 million house. I don't have to have all of that crockery and cutlery as my own. But I can have a beautiful life, and the universe can align me with beautiful things even when I'm living outside of convention. So that's how I'm starting to enjoy that aspect now. Feeling like I don't have to live in a tent and run and hide, and I can start being confident to live any way I like wherever I am.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm sure a lot of people are very interested in your story, and you'll be at Acapulco so people can ask you about how you've been doing things. And I know a lot of people want to do similar things as what you're doing. So
the only way to do it is to do it. And when things get bad enough, you will do it. I still can't be in Australia. I was back there for 3 months last year, and I can't do it anymore. Maybe in a few years I'll go back and it'll be fine. But right now I don't want to be in the country that has my birth certificate and considers me its chattel. I don't want to be there. I can't be there.
Yeah, I agree. I've pretty much decided not to go back to Canada anymore. It's something about flow as well, right? And you're very into all these sort of energy and flow and things like that. And nothing flows for me right in Canada. Everything goes badly all the time. Not all the time, but in general. But then I get to Mexico and everything always just runs perfectly and smoothly, and it's like you don't even have to try. It just sort of happens. Like you pointed out, like this woman just sort of gave you her house because she likes your energy. That kind of stuff kind of happens down here quite a bit.
Yeah, and also in Australia, if you wanted to rent a house, you would have to have a real estate agent, you'd have to have 15 references, you'd have to have money in the bank, you'd have to show bank account statements. You know, what you would have to do was be basically hold down a normal job with a normal salary, like a government job or a proper corporate job for a long time, and get references from that, you know? Because if you don't do that, you're not considered a normal person. You're considered like an arty-farty type who's gonna like shit on the carpet. And it's true though, that's how they are. And everybody is bitter at themselves that they've stayed in that life. It's like people who complain about paying tax and they complain about the dole bludgers and whatever. It's like you're not really pissed off at the dole bludgers. You're pissed off at yourself that you pay the fucking tax in the first place. You're not pissed off about where it goes. You're pissed off that you take that job that means that it just gets ripped out of your hands.
Yeah, and so many people are starting to do things more like you. So many people have already started moving here to Acapulco. Every day now, there's somebody who just shows up. They don't really have a plan. They're just like, well, I hear it's good. If I like it here, I'm just going to stay here and figure something out. And there's literally dozens or hundreds of people like that. So we're all going to be in Acapulco. We can all sort of trade ideas and opportunities and contacts and find a way for ourselves to live a freer life.
And you know what they say? If you want to make God laugh, tell it your plans. Like, stop having plans. That's my first advice. Like, I've had plans forever, and I always had plans, and then I decided plans aren't going to help anyone. Plans are getting in the way of spontaneity. If you've got plans, then you make yourself go, oh, well, sure, have plans. Like, if you want to be an airline pilot, you need plans. If you want to be a brain surgeon, you need plans. Have your 5-year plans, have your plans. But I love spontaneity and just letting shit fall. And when it doesn't work out, not freaking out. Just going, okay. You know, like people always say to me, oh, I'm poor. My friends in Australia say it. My American friends say it. I'm like, you're not fucking poor. You've got so much money. You've got so much food in your fridge. You've got so many luxuries around you. You are not poor. You're so fucking comfortable, you know. When you realize how many people are poor and happy, then you need to look at what's happening in your life, you know. But we're always poor. I always don't have much money hanging around. What if you ever have money as a person like me, all you look at it as is a period of time that you're free to not have to work. A period of time where your brain is free to run wild on its own and doesn't ever have to lock down into anybody else's business.
Yeah, I used to live completely spontaneously. I actually made a point of doing that after I sank my sailboat in El Salvador. I just said, I'm going to buy a backpack, and I'm not going to ever make any plans. I'm just going to go with the flow every single day. And I did that for like 5 years. So I would just go to an airport if I was bored of a place and say, what's your next flight? And they'd say, this place. I'd be like, where's that? And they'd be like, I don't know. And I just hop on and go. And I always had an amazing time, always, because I was just always going with the flow. So if I met a beautiful girl somewhere, I would just hang out with her for a while. And I had no real plans. And then I'd be at the airport and I'd see people just freaking out. You just see people just losing their shit. Just like, they're just crying and screaming. And you overhear them and it's like, well, their flight got canceled and they had this plan to be here at this exact time. And there's a hurricane coming now. And so that ruined their entire vacation that they planned like a year ago. It's like, well, don't plan it out like that. The world will work with its own way, and just go with the flow more. But people need the security of having this plan, this exact plan for how they want it to go. And of course, it never goes exactly how they plan. And then they get really upset. And it's like,
exactly.
Why'd you do that?
And my whole life is a vacation and has been for 5 years. wherever I am, even though I work really hard and sometimes run around from 7:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night doing massages, yoga classes. I am a hard physical worker. I exhaust myself. And sometimes in Mexico, it's for really small amounts of money because people here earn 100 pesos or 200 pesos a day. So if I'm massaging people who earn 200 pesos a day, I can't ask $80 an hour, can I? Like I do in Australia. So I massage someone for a sandwich or something, and you get tired massaging for $80 an hour. I tell you, when you massage for a sandwich, you get really tired. But at the same time, when you need a sandwich, you'll bloody do that massage, you know? And I think all of us need to sort of get down to that base level of living. Like, can I do something for somebody that will enable me to live for another 3 hours? Can I be useful? Can I help someone? What can I do? What do I want to do with my time? So now I do work a bit, but I don't think of it as work. I just think today I'm doing my yoga with these people, and today I'm going to run my hands over somebody who I inevitably like, because everyone's interesting, you know.
Yeah, no, it's great. Whenever I talk to you, we can keep talking for hours.
I know. I can't wait to see you at an Acapulco, but I know everyone's going to be like right up your ass, and I'm just going to be some kind of introvert nightmare like I always am at these festivals. But no, it's going to be fine. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to meeting about 10 people that I know only from Facebook, just from anarchist conversations and from, you know, watching Anarchast or Dollar Vigilante. So I just want to thank you for putting it on, for bringing us all together. It's going to be an unreal weekend, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it the other day, how every single speaker at the event, of course, I know and I've met, and many of them are actually quite good friends. But I was just thinking about it the other day that I actually haven't met a lot of them in person before. I just didn't even click in my head because we talk over Skype or whatever. And I see them, on, you know, a lot of them are doing YouTube videos and stuff, so I see them all the time. It'll be really amazing to see everyone in person.
It will. It'll be kooky. It'll be like some kind of dystopian nightmare. For me, it'll be like, wow. Yeah, because I've met a few of them on the Skype, and now I'm going to see them in real life. It'll be great. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, and to think that you got them all down here, Jeff, that's commendable, because, you know, a lot of people don't think about Mexico, just think, oh, it's too far out of the way, don't want to get a passport, blah, blah, blah. But once you taste Mexico, I don't know, it's hard to leave.
Yeah, I made that prediction that a lot of people probably won't leave, and but there's really no way for us to describe how it is here. You just have to come and see it, and a lot of people are. So I'm going to see you in less than 2 weeks. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you too, gorgeous. Can't wait. And yeah, just stay well, look after yourself, breathe, Jeff. Breathe into your belly. If you do one thing for yourself in the next 2 weeks, breathe deep into your belly, 3 deep breaths, once or even twice a day. It will change everything. It will lessen the horrible tension. So just breathe, darling. You'll be fine. And if you do want to come down for a retreat, let us know first. And otherwise, I'll see you there. I can't wait.
All right, thanks a lot. So that's
I'm hoping to be there for Luke's We Are Change Media workshop boot camp. That'll be unreal.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. There's a lot of people have signed up for that, and it's going to be Luke, Rudowski, Dan Dix, and James Corbett. It's like 3 amazing people giving you, you know, their information on how they do what they do, and
there as well.
And I reckon
it's to learn as well.
It's going to be goofy as hell. Let's face it. I can't wait. It's going to be gorgeous. And I promise I will not heckle. All right. Okay, Jeff. We'll see you in like 13 days.
All right, awesome. So that's Elissa Hawke from Puerto Escondido, and we'll be here in Acapulco coming up in just less than a couple of weeks now. And if you want, check it out. We still have a few spaces available, but it's pretty much full, which is really nice and great. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to breathe and prepare for it, but I'm sure that everything will go fine. So that's it for Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. Peace, love, and anarchy.
This is Anarchast.